Good day. My name is Carol BURK, and I am the chairperson of the 175th Emancipation Commemoration Committee. And I am truly honored to have with me this afternoon Mr. Julio Petersen. Hi, how are you?
Good afternoon. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Yes, and and for the audience, and the sake of the audience, you can see what we're showing. We're showcasing his book. You wrote this book?
Yes, so I wrote Khari'S Big Splash from the series The Adventures of Khari. And this is the second book. I have 3 books out. Khari Goes to the Fair, Khari'S Big Splash, and then the most recent one, which is Khari Goes Back to School. So this is the second book from the series. Yes.
So, really and truly, let me say this, that my sister Maureen Burke Ventura,
Yes.
she's the one who came to a committee meeting and indicated that, you were writing this book.
Yeah.
And she impressed on us that we need to be thoughtful about the fact that we need to do more with our young people and we need to leave something with them. So we all decided, something, let's purchase some of those books. I think we purchased 100.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And we felt very good about that decision because we wanted something to last. And certainly Khari'S Big Splash is lasting. Tell me, Mr. Petersen, what inspired you to do this one in particular?
So this one in particular was actually the first one that I had written. But Khari Goes Back to the Fair came out first because during COVID, remember that fair had got pushed back that second year?
Yes.
And so I wanted kids to have that connection and learn about the fair during that time period that they were supposed to be going to the fair, but it didn't happen. So then once that one was over with, then I came up with published Khari'S Big Splash. Now, like I said, this one was the first one that I had written because I love going to the beach. Everybody loves going to the beach, especially kids.
I love people to the beach.
Right,
Yes,
especially
yes,
kids.
yes.
So naturally, the first story that comes to mind is always some type of connection to the beach, the water, right? And so with Khari'S Big Splash, it talks about Khari going to the beach, but also jumping off of Big Dock for the first time.
What's a Big Dock?
Big Dock, right. So when I go to the different schools, I have to explain to them what is Big Dock and what's the significance of being able to jump off of it, because now they're not able to jump off of it.
Exactly.
Right? But when I was growing up and you was growing up,
it was all free for all.
Yes, and we could go to, you take your family out and you go fishing, or you spend, the evening time walking the dock, the pier, and then, of course, as children, we jump off of it, right?
Right.
So I wanted kids to have that experience.
So at Abramson Pier.
At Abramson Pier, where the cruise ships come in.
Yes.
So I wanted kids to have that, learn about that experience, about jumping off the dock. But also in this story, there's 2 things also that's happening. One is Khari being able to overcome his fear and his nervousness and going through those emotions.
Oh, wow.
But also, as opposed to the first book, Khari Goes to the Fair, now we're really getting to see the relationship between Khari and his father. So Khari's father is the one that really comforts him and holds him up and lifts him up through those moments of fear and nervousness.
So that's a dad son's relationship.
Exactly.
That's
Yes,
awesome.
Exactly.
So listen, tell us a little bit about yourself, though, because I don't think that you live here anymore. But you're one of them transient that we're gonna take care of, getting you right back home. But that's fine. Because you live everything St. Croix and the Virgin Islands.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about who you are, Julio Petersen.
Yes.
And why you're writing books for children.
Yeah, so my real name is Julio Francisco Petersen III. My grandfather was a quilby singer, a scratch band singer here in St. Croix, Julio Petersen Sr. And I was born and raised here in LaGrange. I went to St. Patrick's School, Alexander Henderson, Arthur Richards, Complex. So I was born and raised here. Everything St. Croix, that Virgin Islands culture is me. On my mother's side of the family, they're all local culinary people. So they love to cook and bake and feed the community. So I grew up with both sides, giving back and feeding the community, and also honing into the culture and the music of St. Croix and the Virgin Islands. So when I was 17, I competed and won Mr. St. Croix and in 2006. And then from there, I went to the Army, did a few years in the Army, and then moved to Texas, where I was last stationed after my deployment to Iraq. And I went back to school to study music and theater. After that, then I got my theater and my music degree, and I became a theater teacher in Houston. And during COVID, I had to be able to make virtual lessons for my students. And so I put my lessons on social media, and those lessons, parents were looking for more and more. And so I put it on YouTube, and Mr. Pete's Playhouse came out of that. And during the time when we were home during COVID, is where I started writing these books as well. And Khari means king in Swahili. And so I wanted to have a name that black and brown kids can have that connection to as well and feel uplifted as well. So that's where those stories came from. Of course, when I'm writing books, all I know is Crucian culture. And so my stories are based in some aspect of Crucian culture.
But I think that's awesome that you're able to use a platform to allow for the culture of these Virgin Islands to be able in anybody's living room, in anybody's classroom, or even on the beach.
Yes.
That is awesome that you've captured that and you've put it into black and white, into words, so that our children, not only our children, but any audience, beginning with our children into adulthood and even our seniors, co-appreciate Khari'S Big Splash, co-appreciate all the other books that you've put into play, and make sure that there's a legacy for them.
Yes.
And that's awesome. So what are you doing now, though? What are you doing now? Are you still teaching in the classroom?
Kind of. So this school year, I decided to get out of the classroom full time, and I'm still a part-time. I'm a substitute teacher, still in the Houston area. And doing that now allows me to do what I'm currently doing, which is visiting home, visiting the schools, interacting with students from all aspects, going into the classrooms and seeing their smiling faces, sharing my story, listening to them hear the songs and the music, and just sharing my knowledge, my culture, and the Mr. Pete experience with them. So.
We saw you at the fair.
Yes.
And I told my sister, grab him. We have these books, but we weren't going to just deliver them to the schools.
Yeah.
We needed to make sure they were right. So we're going to fix the Emancipation emblem, your signature.
Yes, we're going to sign
for
all
those
of
kids
them.
who going to end up with a copy of your book,
Wonderful.
Khari'S Big Splash.
Wonderful.
We're going to put some in the libraries. I don't know if you have any in the library, but we're going to put more.
Yeah.
Because reading is indeed fundamental.
Absolutely.
I'm so proud that you've chosen to do this.
Thank you.
As a local person, as a young individual, you've inspired so many of our young people. Before we go, though, just tell us a little bit about the interaction that you've had with the children in the schools, because children are like sponges, and they really soak up a lot. They're impressionable, and I'm sure you've had a great impression on them.
Yes, absolutely. I've visited just about all the elementary schools. There's some that I could not squeeze into the schedule, but I've been to 3-4 schools a day this whole week alone.
Wow.
And just seeing their smiling faces, Mr. Pete, like they know me. They see me before I see them. They know the music. They see you on TV. I like this episode. I like this video. I learned this. So knowing that the stuff that we are creating, that they are soaking it up, and that they're learning about their culture, about their history, about Quilba music, because that's very important for me to make sure that I include Quilba music in our sound and in our videos. So for them to make those connections and fall in love with their culture again, and to know that I'm somewhat of that bridge for them, like it's just an humbling, amazing experience, and it makes me just want to continue to do more.
If I could just put a little bug in your ear.
Yes.
You know what I would love to see? I love to see a compilation in a storybook of all the old time games that we used to play.
Yes,
right? Like marble, when it rained hard, we used to take our little sticks and put them in the gut, and people would raise those sticks. I mean, and on and on and on. Even cockfight, all of that.
Yeah.
If one day you could just, if you were able to put that together, so the children could see how creative young Crucian and Virgin Islanders used to be, Caribbean children.
And they still are.
Yes.
They still are. They just need that opportunity, and they need people like us to reach them where they are. Because if we are not the ones reaching them, then, people always say, oh, the children ain't doing this, the children ain't doing that. But what are we doing to give those opportunities to do that?
That's right.
So it's up to us now to teach it to them, or else it will be lost. They will never know. So, yeah.
Well, Pete, you for sure is on point. You're on point. We are proud to have partnered with you in this regard.
Thank you.
And to all the young people, look out for Khari'S Big Splash. The Emancipation Committee will definitely be bringing it to your schools. Some of you will get personal copies with his autograph affixed to it. So good luck with your continued collaborations, with your work with regard to young people. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you.